How you guys doing today? Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Lenovo Go S. This is the SteamOS version, and this is the Z2 Go Extreme Ship one. So we're going to take a look at the design. We're going to take a look at gameplay performance. At the end of this video, I'm going to let you guys know if this is something I recommend. So if that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into this video. So let's start off with the design. I really do like the design of this. So again, the color I feel like is quite unique and quite impressive. As you can see here, it is kind of purple. Going up to the top, you have two USB-Cs, which I think is incredible compared to the Steam Deck, which only has one. Something I don't like about this is that I do think the USB-Cs are too close to one another. You have the power button here, you have the volume rocker button here, and you have a headphone jack here. At the bottom is where you install the micro SD card. You have two front-facing speakers here, and you have a trackpad here. If you turn it on, you do get some RGB lighting here, which I think looks cool, and I do think it does fit the colors. Going over to the back, you have vents for cooling here, and then you have adjustable triggers for the triggers here, and you have customized Y1, Y2 buttons here. When it comes to the thumbstick, I do think the thumbstick feels really good in the hand. The buttons are quite clicky, but I do think it feels good. Something that I don't like though is the placements of the menu buttons here. I do get confused every once in a while trying to hit the Steam button because it's really close to this button as well. So yeah, I wish they would have, placed it somewhere different, but again, that's not the worst. But overall, when it comes to design, I do like the design of this and I do think it looks good. For comparison's sake, I will bring the Steam Deck here so you guys can take a look at what this one looks like compared to the Steam Deck. As you'll see, it's a little bit thicker than the Steam Deck. Comparing it to the Legion Go here, you'll see that the Legion Go is bigger. And as far as thickness goes, you'll see it's pretty similar to how thick the Legion Go is. So let's talk about specs. This is running SteamOS like I stated earlier. It has an 8-inch 1920 by 1200 LCD touch display. It has VRR. It's using the AMD Ryzen Z2 Go chip. It has 16 gig of RAM. It has 512 storage, two USB-C ports, touchpad. Not the greatest specs, but it is better than the Steam Deck specs. So let's just go into some performance here with gameplay. All right, so we're gonna take a look at Doom: The Dark Ages running on this, and I have frame generation turned off because for some reason with this game on this device, frame generation just makes it sluggish and it doesn't run as well. All right, so let's go to settings here, show you guys what I'm rocking for my settings, and you'll see I have it 720p and pretty much have a medium preset with all of this without frame generation on, right? And you'll notice here I'm getting 24 FPS 23. This is similar to what I'll be getting if I was playing this on the Steam Deck. And I would have to say something that I do appreciate about this device when it comes to just gaming on here is that the volume is definitely a lot better when it comes to sound quality. The Steam Deck does have great speakers, but when you comparing this to something like the Legion Go, which I think the speakers are terrible, this does have better speakers. As far as controller goes, it does feel really good in the hands when you're playing games as well. It's definitely comfortable to hold. And you'll see here, this does hit 30 every once in a while. This game, as you guys know, is pretty difficult to run. But yeah, it does run quite okay here. And again, I have this one running at 720p and it does still look pretty nice on this device. Now, if you turn frame generation on, again, I do have some issues with this. It does start lagging. I don't know why that tends to happen, but let's try to go into some battles here and let's see how this one performs in battle. But yeah, still maintaining high 25 FPS here. As you guys know, again, this game is quite demanding. So it's holding its own here on this device and it is running it quite okay. So with frame generation, if it's working properly, you can get about 40 FPS with this game on this device. All right, so we'll test another game out like Cyberpunk here. All right, so for Cyberpunk, we're just gonna keep it at the Steam Deck settings here. As you can see here, medium to high. We're going to start with frame generation off, but FSR and balance. Let's see what type of performance we get here. Just a heads up, this is the limited seeded DLC, so it's not the official Cyberpunk gameplay. So this, as you guys know, is quite a demanding game to run on some devices as well. So we're not going to be getting the same FPS we would get with normal Cyberpunk. So as you can see here, 30 FPS, which is not too bad for this DLC here. So let's get into some battles here, see how it holds up. 30 FPS still holding strong. All right, so we're going to pause real quick. Again, I keep mixing up those buttons because they're so close. Let's turn frame generation on and let's see what we get with that. So FSR3 frame generation, we're gonna hit apply here. It's telling us that we might need to restart the game. All right, so here we have frame generation on and you'll see it's getting high 40s, 50 FPS now. So again, frame generation kicks in for these devices. And again, if you want to get higher FPS count, you should definitely consider using frame generation. But yeah, with that on, we're getting high 40s, 50 FPS with the same game on the Lenovo Legion Go S. So again, I'm really enjoying gaming on here. It's not the most powerful ship, but it is good enough to run some games. And yeah, I'm gonna keep testing this out. I'm gonna compare it to something like the Steam Deck and the Legion Go. So if that's something you guys were interested, make sure you stick around to those videos. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys my final impression and let you guys know if this is something that I recommend. I think for the price point, which is $600, originally this was supposed to launch for $450. $600 is a little steep, but this is cheaper than the Windows variant of this. And so 16 gig RAM is what you get with this. I wish it would have been 32 like the Windows variant, but still, for the price point, I feel like this device is definitely a steal. This is one of the cheapest handheld devices that Lenovo makes. And for 600 bucks with SteamOS, I'm having a great time with this device. Would definitely recommend it if you guys were on the budget and if you guys were considering getting a handheld. Now, the question is, when it comes to budget, should I get a Steam Deck LCD or should I get a Lenovo Legion Go? I would say some people are loyal to Lenovo. I know personally I like Lenovo's product. If you want to stay in the Lenovo ecosystem, definitely consider this. Again, another reason why you might consider this is because it does have more features. The VRR display, 8-inch display. It has two USB-C. So as far as when it comes to features, it does have better features than the Steam Deck. But again, I feel like the Steam Deck is more comfortable in the hands to hold, and it does have an OLED screen, and you can find it for $400 refurbished if you were interested in that. So it is more affordable than this. But then again, if you're not looking for a Steam Deck, this is definitely a great option. So something to take into consideration though is that this is not Valve's official hardware. So yeah, on this device, SteamOS is somewhat still janky. There are times when I'm trying to boot up a game, it just doesn't open, just doesn't work. But I know that Valve is constantly updating this, and I'm hoping in time that we won't run into those issues. When it comes to battery life, it does have a 50 WH battery, but I do think that on low performance, you are getting better batteries with the Steam Deck compared to this one. But I personally don't have a hard time with battery on here. All right, so here we can change the TDP settings. And if we go to performance when it comes to battery life on a game like Cyberpunk, 81%, you are getting an hour and 15 minutes. So performance is about 25 TDP. When you go to balance, I believe it's about 10 to 15. So you are getting 2 hours. So again, it's not the greatest battery life, but I do feel like it is good enough to have a decent gaming experience on here. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one if you guys were interested in a SteamOS device. I believe the price is right, 600. I do wish it was around 550, but 600 is not too bad. And this is a great device for that price. All right, fellas, let me know if you guys find this video helpful. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Till next time, peace out.